Guys. Okay, so we're gonna pick up from the last video. So last video we discussed reasons for cheating. This video we're gonna discuss the signs. So signs that you may have noticed to let you know a person is cheating. Again, my shirt, awesomeness. My book, First I Had to Meet Me by author Z Monchot, yours truly. Okay, so one thing when it comes to signs of cheating, I don't too much like to go off of that because when you think about the typical signs where it's like, oh, they changed their style, they work out more, things like that. They got new perfume, they got new cologne, they start, staying late and all this other things. Where yes, that can be a sign, but also I know personally for me, when I see something or like say I'm watching something, I might get inspired, like, oh, I want to try that, outfit, or oh, I want to try that style. It doesn't mean that I'm cheating. I just saw something, interesting, or I smelled something new, but I'm allergic to majority of stuff. But I smell something, so I'm now I'm wearing that new scent. It's not because someone got it for me or anything like that. It's just I love it now. So those type of signs I kind of tend to stay away from because it can go either way with that. Okay, so signs that a person may be cheating. Again, let's let's just see. Let's give it a shot. Accuse you of cheating. Yes. So when I was being cheated on, that's what came. I was being accused of cheating. It's like how or when do I have time to cheat? One, we work within a few miles of each other. We do lunch most of the time together. Uh, I cook every night, whether or not you show up. I still cook the things you like, and he would usually come over after work or before he go out with his friends and eat. So it's like, okay, so I'm not going out that time. You have a key to my place. Like, how can I have anybody coming through my home when you can come through whenever you feel like it because you have a key? So, yes, going through being accused of being the one cheating. You have a key to my place. We work close together. We do lunch together. You're usually here for dinner. You go through my phone whenever you want to go through my phone. And it wasn't let me see your phone. It's let me see your phone bill. Where in case you erased who you were talking to, it'll show the numbers. So everything was there. So but still being accused of cheating because he was the one cheating. More judgmental of the relationship. Yes. So with this, so it seemed like things were okay, we're doing good, but then it became this is why this relationship isn't working for me. This is why I'm unhappy with this relationship. This is what you're doing to annoy me. This is what you're doing to irritate me. This is, I don't know where this is going. I don't know if I want to continue on in this relationship. I need time to think about it. And it's just like, where is this coming from? Because we were just talking and you were in love or you said you were, and but all of a sudden every single thing I do is wrong. If when he was having a bad day and inventory got messed up, he was a manager, so inventory got messed up, so of course it reflected back on him. And I'm just like, it'll be okay, is there anything, can you go back over the numbers, do this, do the system, the database? And it's just like, see, this is why I can't talk to you. You know what, I have to go because this is just stressing me out more. I need to figure this out and I just can't handle this right now. I'm like, I'm trying to come up with solutions, like I'm trying to be helpful, but every single thing I did was irritating. Every single time I tried to help was aggravating, and everything in about the relationship just was not right. It was just was not working. One minute I'm trying to pressure him to move too fast, next minute he doesn't know where it's going, so it's moving too slow, so he gets engaged to someone else. Yeah, yes. So it's like, okay, all just again, they just become critical of the relationship. They nitpick on everything in the relationship. Something that they said they got over a year ago, they're bringing up like all these things. And the reason why is that they're trying to justify their actions. They're trying to justify them talking to someone else, them going out with someone else, them, interacting and maybe even sleeping with someone else. And the way to justify it is to tear down the foundation of what you have now. If you can tear it down, if you can show the holes in it, if you can show where it's not working, that gives you that justification of course you should go out and be with someone else. Of course you are right in talking to someone else. Of course you are right in taking someone on a date, because look what's going on. Look what you're having to deal with. Look where you're being the bigger person and they're not even trying. So yes. Another thing, uh, on the opposite end, things are even better than ever before. Like, you don't have to convince them to go to your sister's house. You don't have to convince them to, watch a game with you. They want to, like, they're volunteering. And it's because they're trying to overcompensate for those that cheat and feel guilty. Those few people out there that cheat and feel guilty, they're trying to overcompensate for their guilt. So they do so by being extra attentive, by being extra loving, by just acting out of a way that usually they won't. Now, again, with this sign, it could be that maybe they realized how they were being. They realized the error of the things that they were doing, and they want to be a better person. So they're not cheating. They're just trying to be better. So that's why it's like some of these signs you could see where it's like, well, maybe it might be something else. But that's one. Um, they dressing different. Again, that's the one I was talking about, where it's like they're dressing different. They don't maybe before they were leggings and t-shirt kind of person. Now she's wearing dresses. She's wearing boots and pants, and maybe they were a sweatpants kind of person. Now he's wearing slacks more, things like that. So it may be that they have someone that they're trying to impress, or they found someone and that person likes them to be a certain way. Uh, they don't talk to you as much. So before, where you would talk about your days with each other, they don't do that anymore. And it may be because they have an emotional affair going on. So this is the person that they're venting to about their day. This is the person they're telling their ideas to. This is the person they're running things by. So by the time it comes to you, they don't have anything to say because they already got it out. So your conversations of how was your day? Good. Well, what did you get done? A lot, few projects got accomplished. How was your presentation? Oh, it was awesome. They loved it. So before, where they would give you details, they stopped doing that because they're already regurgitating this to someone else, that they don't feel like, I can do this again with you. Like, I've already done this. I've already had this conversation. This person makes me feel, they're listening to me. So that could be a thing where if you, before, you guys would talk about everything, or they were always coming to you with everything. But it also could be that that person felt like you weren't listening to them when they were coming to you. So they stopped that action. So again, it's just how you interpret, your partner best. They're more disrespectful towards you. So yes, been through that again, where it's like, now you're irritating me. No offense to you, but I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't want to deal with you right now. Or they, lack of caring. So I got to where I was sick. I was just like heavy pains in my chest and things like that. So I had to go to the hospital. I went to the ER. They was like, okay, well, we're gonna have to admit you because your EKG is just, it's up there. So calling my ex and all of that, he's just like, oh, it's probably just nothing. Like, dude, they admitted me. Like, they're running more tests. I can't leave. They have to absorb, and he's just like, oh, they're probably, it's just protocol. So it's like he no longer cared, where in the beginning, if something like that, he would have been right at the hospital. Even after I got out, I couldn't drive. So I was like, well, can you come get me? Because I'm not allowed to drive. And he's just like, oh, they just say things like that. You'll be fine or whatever. You're not that far from the hospital. And I mean, I was probably maybe 10 miles or so. So it's not far. But when you're just being released and, you had a heart condition, it's a little much to be driving. But he wouldn't. He's just like, oh, it's going to be fine. I got to get back to work. I'll talk to you later. So they become that wall against you because they become uncaring towards you because their emotions, their everything, their loyalty is to that other person. So even though they're keeping you around, everything that they got and they're putting out is going to that other person. So they become more disrespectful towards you. They become uncaring towards you. Okay. Guard their phones. Like, yes. It used to be to, when I'm around, flip the phone down, put the phone on vibrate, charge the phone in another room, which is how the one girl ended up finding out about me, because he was at her house and he was charging the phone in another room. It was night. I was texting him like, good night. I just want to say that I miss you. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Her child saw that message come across. So she told her mom. Her mom waited until he went to sleep, read the message, copied my number, and reached out to me. So again, the garden phone, like before, where the phone would be put down. Now, if he went to the restroom, he took the phone with him to the restroom. If he took a shower, the phone was with him when he was taking a shower. And it's like, I've never went through his phone, but I guess it's like, just in case someone calls, just in case someone texts me and that pops up, I don't want you to see it. Their friends are different towards you. So if they are cheating, if they are seeing someone, a lot of the times their friend, they do know. So they know, hey, maybe they plan on cutting you loose, or maybe now they're hanging out with this person and they're part of a circle together. And so rather than tell you, they're stringing you along. So now their friends are different. So you may be like, hey, you guys want to, we're doing this tonight or whatever. You guys want to come? They're like, oh, maybe, we'll see. They may have excuses. They may not be as warming, greeting towards you as they were before. And with my ex, it was kind of the opposite. His best friend was just like, you can do better. Like, this dude, you can do better. Just go. And at first I thought, it's like, wow, that's kind of mean. But after everything over the year and a half played out, I wish I would have listened to his friend. Their routine changes. Again, this is with like I said in the last video, where my ex, before, he was always up late and hanging out with his friends till probably like 1 in the morning. Then he had to do, deal stuff with his ex and their kids and her kids and all of that. So it became to, hey, 9 o'clock, I'm going to bed. And that's how I just figured, but found out he wasn't. He was actually going to another woman's house, or the woman was coming to his house, or he was staying with his ex, because he was messing with two people behind my back. So yeah, if their routine changes, if like, and even before, when he would work nights and stuff, and he work overnights, we would talk to each other. We would be on the phone with each other, just, playing around, so keeping him up and things like that. But then sometimes I wouldn't hear from him. He'd just be like, hey, working overnight. And he'll text me in the morning, hey, good, have a good day at work. It's like, usually we would talk. But then I found out that she was actually going with him. So since he was a manager, he could have whoever with him. So she would actually go and work with him and stuff like that. So that's why those calls and that routine of us talking through the night changed, because he had someone there with him. Repeating stories. So yes, so they think that they told you something because they know they told someone. Really, they're telling the other person. And those times, they're like, I know I told someone. So they're either telling the other person and be like, how come you can't remember? I told you. My ex will always do that. Like, I told you this. I'm like, no, you didn't. He's like, yes, I did. I did tell you that my son is coming. No, you did not tell me. I would know that. I would have the house ready if I knew he was coming. And so, and he just, would do things like that, or would tell me a story and then tell me the story again. I'm just like, yeah, I know. Now, I know for me, I repeat stuff all the time. Usually is within the conversation, because that's how I process. But he would tell me something and then tell me again later. Because again, when you're trying to balance multiple relationships, you don't remember exactly who you told what to. So you're just like, okay, I know I told this to somebody. Let me just tell the story again. So, so those are just some signs that a person may be cheating. Again, are open to interpretation. My best advice, I would say you could ask the person, but given my experience, they will deny. They will deny. They will flip it on you. They will just be like, why don't you trust me? Why are you even here? If you're thinking I'm this kind of person, how well do you think of me if you think I'm like this? And the whole time he was like that. But it's just to put that guilt on you. And it wasn't any remorse. I think that you can work through certain things when a person feels regret, when a person feels sorry. If a person's willing to tell you, hey, yes, you were right. I was cheating. It was this. It was this person making me feel good. So I was texting them. No, I never went out with them. Or yes, I went out with them. Yes, I slept with them. Like, it just depends on how open a person's willing to be and how you're willing to deal with it. At the same time, are you willing to go on knowing you know that a person is cheating on you, and one, they show no regrets, they show no remorse, they won't even admit it to you. So can you move on knowing that this is going on and knowing you're not going to get an apology for it? Is that something that you can live with? That's what you have to ask yourself. So you have those signs, you have whatever, you know what's going on. And you can decide yourself if you're going to confront that person, if you feel that they're going to be honest with you, if you feel like they're going to tell you. Because like I said in the other video, a lot of times it's that self-gratification. They're feeling good about themselves. They got the best thing going. They don't have any conflict or whatever, but then they have a stable relationship as well. So it's just, they may not stop until they actually get caught, like caught in the act, or a person calls you kind of caught, not you thinking this is happening and it's not kind of caught. Or you're reading into things, or that's not what that text message meant, or that's not what us being out, it was business, or sorry, that's not, just because they liked my post, or just because he DM'd me afterwards, that's not what that means. You're reading too much into things. It's just, what are you willing to deal with and what are you willing to accept? But like I said before, don't take that onto yourself. That is a person's character. You cannot change a person's character. You can try to be a bigger person. You can try to be a bigger influence. But if a person's character is to cheat, they're going to cheat. If they rather, seek out someone else than deal with the conflict or whatever going on in your relationship, that's what they're going to do. That's their character. If that's how they deal with things, is by seeking elsewhere rather than dealing with that, that's what's going to happen. You just have to decide for yourself if that's something you're willing to live with, or do you feel like, you know what, I deserve better and I'm going to get better. I need to leave this situation and find someone that's going to be truly for me, just for me, and that's not going to be out here lying to me or even subjecting me to bad energies that they're taking on, maybe even catching something, or even just you being unaware. You're out in public, you're not aware that they're seeing someone else. Someone may come up to you and try to start an argument or try to fight you. And I have had a friend that had that happen, where they actually got hurt because they didn't know their person was cheating, and that person, came up to them and just started going off on them. And they physically end up in the hospital and stuff because they didn't know. So it's like, you don't know the mindset of the person that you brought into your relationship, because again, when you're messing with someone else, you bring in that energy. That's how you find people getting killed, and they don't even know that their person is cheating, but they're getting killed over things like that. They're getting beat up. All of these things are happening because of someone putting you in that situation. You would think in a relationship, you want to protect each other, you want to be there for each other, you want to cover each other, but you can't cover someone if you're dealing with someone else and you don't know that someone else's mental state. You don't know that person to know what's going to happen if you finally be like, you know what, I don't want to deal with you, but you brought that energy into your relationship. So now you have that. So again, like I said before, you guys are awesome. Don't let no one take that away from you, and don't let no one convince you otherwise. Keep being you, keep being amazing, and keep shining.